All right, then let's turn our attention to Real Madrid and Liverpool. Of course, a rematch of the 2018 Champions League final. Ian, neither team really lighting it up domestically. Who's your favorite between these two?
Well, I covered Real Madrid the other night against Atalanta, and for all the problems that they've been having, and they're probably not going to win La Liga again this season, I think they are improving. I think they are now beginning to find a kind of a groove, and that could be ominous. Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, that midfield is still there. It's still functioning. It's still quality. Benzema is scoring every game now that he's fit again. Sergio Ramos has just returned from 2 months out. So I think it's a dangerous tie for Liverpool, particularly because of the problems they've had, which we've been talking about for a long time now. But I think one plus for Liverpool is, and they have to stick with this, that they're getting Fabinho now back in midfield where he belongs, not playing in central defence. He's had to fill in there. But I think whatever they do, they've got to keep him in that midfield because they're starting to look themselves a little bit more with him there.
Craig, between these two, who do you see going through?
Real Madrid, because of the things that Ian mentioned. And look, the decision to put Fabinho back in the midfield was a really good one against Red Bull Leipzig and playing the less experienced players at the back, because Leipzig are one, Liverpool had a lead, and two, they're a little bit lightweight up front, particularly after selling Timo Werner. However, as Ian mentioned, with Benzema and others, Real Madrid are a different prospect, and so that's a conundrum for Jurgen Klopp. And I just don't think with such an inexperienced potential partnership at the back, Liverpool are going to go any further in this competition, because it's going to be so difficult for those players to play against, some of the best players in Europe. It's been a struggle for them in the Premier League, and that's why they are where they are in the domestic table. And so for those reasons, this season and the horrendous injuries that Liverpool have, I think it's a real long shot for them to be going through, even against a Real Madrid side that have not been the best this year.
Nedum, we're painting a pretty bleak picture here for Liverpool fans. Do you agree?
Unfortunately, yes, but I think the reason that I agree is because the second leg being at Anfield isn't what it was in years gone by. I think if there was a fan base there, I would be very reluctant to go against Liverpool. But I think teams are going to Anfield now and they don't fear anything, as we've seen in the league. And then when you see the sort of high-level talent they'll be going there, when we're talking about Benzema's, Modric's and people like this, they've been there and they've done that. And I think if they step into that arena and Liverpool don't have that 12th man, I think I fancy Real Madrid to make it a tough game for them. And I think Real Madrid will ultimately go through.
Shaka, neither team really coming in with any momentum.
Yeah, listen, as much as I make Real Madrid favourites, I don't think this is a foregone conclusion by any stretch of the imagination. I think despite Liverpool's struggles, they play their best football in Europe, where the pace is a little bit slower, it's not as physical, and they've been able to cope a whole lot better. So that being said, you are talking about a Real Madrid with experience who've been there and done it. And though I don't think this is, by any stretch of the imagination, a great Real Madrid team, I do feel Liverpool have a shot here. Again, I do make Real Madrid favourites. I just don't see this as being cut and dry or foregone conclusion.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.